Sci-fi, horror, fantasy, absurdism in the extreme. It's all available here in the Tales from the Omni Vault book series. Check the description for Amazon links so you can get your copies and start reading today. Thank you all, and now, on to the video. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Omni Viewer, and I'm back with a couple pieces of Godzilla news. Well, actually I'm going to start with the thing that might not be news because the circumstances surrounding it are a bit weird. So, last week, which was over the 4th of July holiday week, I saw this image circulating around the internet, which appeared to be an ad stating that cmon, a group mostly known for creating very interesting tabletop games of various genres, would be releasing a one-shot comic book of Godzilla vs. Cthulhu, accompanied by a Godzilla gaming miniature, presumably for one of their Lovecraft-based games, but it would be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Now, I saw that and I thought, oh hey, that's interesting. Once the holiday is over, I'll have to report something about that. Then a couple days later, I saw people saying that the post, apparently, the original post from which the image came, got taken down. And there hasn't been any update since then. I checked a couple minutes ago before doing this video. At this point, there doesn't seem to have been any updates. So that's why I say the circumstances surrounding it are a bit unusual, because why would they post that and then remove it? Or did they even post it? That's the big question. Is this perhaps a hoax? If it's not a hoax, was it a premature announcement? Did something fall through with the plan? Are they changing their decision about having it be exclusive? I have no idea. I have no connection with anybody at cmon, so no clue. All I know is that the ad went up, and then apparently it was taken down. Now, if it is real, that would certainly be interesting. The whole Godzilla vs. Cthulhu thing has been something I know a lot of fans have wanted to see. I know there are also fans who don't want to see it from both the Godzilla side and the Lovecraft side. In particular, the Lovecraft side has this weird aversion to Cthulhu being called a kaiju, though you can follow the links to see my thoughts on that whole argument. Me personally, I'd love to see it happen. And if there's actually a miniature you can include in one of those games, then that's even cooler, because kaiju-themed miniature games are hard enough to come by as it is, right? But of course there is the caveat that, according to the announcement, it would be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And I being a collector myself, am not going to go all the way out to San Diego Comic-Con just so I can get a comic and a miniature. That's a little extravagant, even for a die-hard collector such as myself. But there is precedent for things that are originally Comic-Con exclusives making their way onto the internet a bit later. You see this black and gold Dragon Zord figure? That's a repaint of the Super 7 Ultimates Dragon Zord, and this version in particular was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, but then it went up for sale on Big Bad Toy Store. So, like I said, there is some precedent for this. If it's even a real thing. Like I said, at this point all we have is the announcement that it disappeared as suddenly as it appeared, and we don't know the other details at this point. Although, knowing my timing, we might very well have details by the time this video does go up. So, if you guys know anything, feel free to put it down in the comments. This next announcement, however, is unambiguous. For a little while now, Godzilla Minus One has been streaming on various platforms, but we fans have been waiting for a physical release, something we can actually get in our hands, put on our shelves, watch at our leisure without having to pay a subscription fee or count on the internet being up, and there's been nothing. A physical release has been out in Japan for a while now, and it's a real top-of-the-line one, too. But otherwise, we've been just wondering when the rest of the world would get it. Well, now we know. At least for we Americans. If you go on the American Godzilla store right now, you will find a pre-order for the Godzilla Minus One Japan Collector's Edition, which, based on the description, is essentially the Japanese edition of the movie brought over to America, with the only difference being that the American version will include an English dub. Otherwise, you get the special features, you get the color version and the minus color version, all of that. Looks like it'll be a 4K disc, and the remaining 3 discs will be Blu-rays, no DVD. Now, of course, this is an expensive edition, and it's specified as a collector's edition, so I don't know if specifying it that way means there will be a mass production, wider distributed, cheaper version that goes out on the market at some point. But for now, all I can tell you is that this is what we've got to work with at the moment. And it's set to ship in September. No specific date in September yet, but that's when it'll be sent out if you pre-order it now. So, looks like the wait is not really over, because that's still a few months away from this video's release, but we at least now know when we're getting a physical edition. And some of us might have to upgrade our systems in order to accommodate it, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. That's the long and the short of it. There's sort of an ambiguous situation of whether or not Godzilla is meeting up with Cthulhu, but when it comes to a physical release for Godzilla Minus One in the West, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So, that's the big announcement for now. Until such time as we meet again, this is the Omni Viewer signing off.